Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 19th day of May, 11th day of Iyar. Here we go. We're on the topic of the repetition of Shmoneh Esrai, and I want you to know that in the time of the Rambam, that's like over 800 years ago-ish, the Rambam felt that in his time he was seeing a decline in the valuable use of the repetition of Shmoneh Esrei because he found that lots of people talked. Those who felt, I already said Shmoneh Esrei, they just schmoozed, and he didn't like that. The repetition was also for those people who didn't know how to daven, and it was being said for them, but they weren't listening well enough. And so the Rambam basically felt like, why are we still doing this if it's not being respected? So he didn't really want the long repetition of the Shmoneh Esrei. He liked to do it this way, where the Chazan would just immediately, right when you got to the Shmoneh Esrei, the Chazan would immediately say it out loud. The readers who knew how to read would say it along with him, and the others who didn't know would just listen and be able to say Amen. That's how the Rambam liked to do it in his time. There are different ways that you will sometimes see a shortened repetition of Shmoneh Esrei. Don't try these on your own. I'm just going to tell you what's out there. The Shulchan Aruch said that the way to do it was that everyone would first say their quiet Shmoneh Esrei, and then the Chazan would repeat, but only part of the Shmoneh Esrei. The Chazan would repeat until after Kedusha with Hakel HaKadosh, and then would go quiet, and that would be the end of it. That was the Shulchan Aruch's way of doing it. The Ramah's way of doing it was that the Shliach Tzibur and the Tzibur, in other words, the Chazan and the congregation, would say it all together until Hakel HaKadosh, and then continue quietly. But the popular way that you may see it done today is a way that's different than both of those. The way that it's most often done today is this way. The whole congregation doesn't start the Shmoneh Esrei. The Chazan starts it, and the Chazan then goes until Hakel HaKadosh. With that, he says the Kedusha, and we all respond to Kedusha. Then he continues on quietly until the end, and then the congregation quietly starts their Shmoneh Esrei from the beginning. That way you shorten things down, and everyone's only listening to a half of a repetition of Shmoneh Esrei, or actually a little less than half, and also some time is saved. But there's definitely downsides to doing this shortened version. One is that there's a lot less amens said, and amens have tremendous value, so it's just a pity to have all that kind of go like for naught and be a wasted opportunity. It's bad if there's less opportunities for amen, and also you may not realize this, but when you do it the regular way, where everyone says Shmoneh Esrei quietly, including the Chazan, and then the Chazan alone repeats it, that quiet Shmoneh Esrei acts as a practice for the Chazan, really, so that he could say the Shmoneh Esrei quietly to himself first, and then be ready to say it for everybody else. And that's not going to happen when you do it our popular way of doing the half Shmoneh Esrei. So this half Shmoneh Esrei way that I'm telling you about today, that Orach HaShulchan way, let me repeat that one. That's where the Chazan starts first. He says it out loud with Kedusha till the end of Hakel HaKadosh, and then everyone says the Shmoneh Esrei quietly. The poskim say that we're not supposed to do this all too often. Most common place where they seem to allow it is in yeshivas for mincha, where they feel every time spent in listening to a long chazaras hashatz repetition of Shmoneh Esrei takes away from the learning, so they'll do that at the mincha of a yeshiva so that the learning could have more learning time. Some people feel that they need to use it in desperate situations where they can't hold the 10 men together for long enough, so they say, okay, we'll do it this quicker way so the 10 men will stay. But you're not supposed to rely on it just willy-nilly all the time and do it whenever you please, because it's not the best way to do the repetition of the Shmoneh Esrei. So don't go instituting on your own whenever you please. It's only supposed to be used for special situations. If you think you know of one where you need to do that half repetition of Shmoneh Esrei, speak to your rabbi about whether it's going to be allowed in the situation where you want to apply it. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.